The Academy of Galactic History was a place of wonder and intimidation, perched high on the glass towers of Illyrian Prime. Students from countless species walked its halls, their eyes bright with curiosity, their minds hungry for knowledge. Yet today the lecture hall was unusually tense. Everyone was talking about the same thing, the fall of Earth. Professor Teravex, a towering figure with scales that shimmered like bronze under the fluorescent lights, stepped forward. His deep golden eyes scanned the students, settling briefly on each as if reading their thoughts. His voice carried like a low rumble, vibrating through the floor. Earth, he began, was lost in the Terran expansion war. Their fleets were destroyed, colonies abandoned, entire populations extinguished. The records are clear. Humanity is gone from the galaxy, a warning to all who dare defy the triumvirate. A few students shuffled in their seats. Some whispered to neighbors, nodding at what they had learned in countless texts. Most believed it. They had grown up knowing the story. Earth had been defeated, almost everyone. In the back row, a girl in a gray cadet uniform sat with perfect posture. Her name tag read A. Carter, but few knew her full story. She had joined the academy quietly, without fanfare, and she rarely spoke unless necessary. Today she was different. Her hand rose slowly, deliberately. "Cadet Carter," the professor said, almost reluctantly. "You may speak." She rose calmly, her voice soft yet confident. "Professor, have you finished the story?" The room went silent. A hum of tension filled the air. Travex's scaled forehead wrinkled in surprise. "The story is complete. Earth was destroyed. The war ended in their defeat." Carter tilted her head. "Then perhaps you have not told the whole story." Some students gasped. One muttered, "There is no after." The Terrans were gone. Carter smiled faintly, a smile that carried quiet authority. "Then allow me to share what my grandmother told me." The professor hesitated. The silence was heavy. Then with a slight nod, he gestured for her to continue. Carter stepped into the center of the hall. Her hands were clasped behind her back, her calmness almost unnatural in the tense atmosphere. "When the fleets of the Triumvirate arrived at Earth's orbit, they expected surrender," she began. "The humans had no reinforcements, no allies, no hope, at least. That is what the records say. For 7 days they bombarded the planet with everything they had. Fire rained down from orbit, cities were reduced to ash, and the oceans burned under energy weapons." Her eyes swept the room. "And yet on the 8th day," she paused, letting the tension build. Every student leaned forward, captivated despite themselves. "The Triumvirate fleets vanished. All 600 warships gone. Their transmissions ended mid-battle. Nothing remained of them, no wreckage, no corpses. The only trace was silence." A murmur ran through the classroom. "Impossible," one cadet whispered. 600 ships don't just disappear." "Yes," Carter said. "And yet they did. No one knows why. Not even the galaxy's most advanced historians." She stepped closer to the holoboard and tapped a button. A faint symbol appeared, a small circle with a vertical line through it. "This is the mark of the Terran Vanguard. My grandmother said they became something beyond fleets and weapons. They became shadows between the stars, watching, waiting, remembering everything." The professor frowned. "A myth. Humans do not survive in secret fleets. There is no proof of this." Carter's gaze didn't waver. "Maybe the proof is what the galaxy doesn't want to see." She walked slowly between the rows of students, each step measured. After that day, Earth vanished from all star maps. Colonies went silent. Ships abandoned their routes. Everyone assumed humanity was extinct. But over the next centuries, strange things began to happen at the edge of known space. Pirate fleets would vanish without a trace. Mining stations would be found stripped clean. No battle damage, no bodies, nothing. Only the symbol I just showed you would remain. The Terrans were watching. The room was silent now. Even the usually chatty cadets were leaning forward, listening. Professor Teravex cleared his throat. "Cadet Carter, you speak of centuries-old legends. What evidence do you have?" Carter raised a hand to the projected symbol. "Legends are born from truth, Professor. The galaxy records what it sees, not what it fears. Humans learn to hide, to survive, and to act only when necessary. That is why you do not see them. But they are here. They never left?" A young Kievan cadet whispered to his neighbor. "This is impossible. Humanity was supposed to be extinct." Carter turned her gaze toward him, calm as ever. "Then perhaps the galaxy has been misreading history," she continued, pacing slowly. "The Terran Vanguard operates in silence. They are not conquerors. They do not seek empires. They intervene only when the balance of power threatens the innocent, or when humanity itself is at risk. Entire fleets have disappeared trying to find them. Star systems have been saved without a single Terran ship ever being seen. They are ghosts, and they are clever. The professor's eyes narrowed. You speak as if you know them personally. I do, Carter said simply. Her calmness didn't falter. My family remembers. They passed the knowledge to me.
Humanity did not lose.
They learned. They evolved. The galaxy thinks the story is over, but the story has only begun. A hum of disbelief and excitement spread through the classroom. Cadets whispered, glancing nervously at one another. Some were skeptical. Some were inspired. Carter paused and walked back to the center. Do you want to know why the Triumvirate never understood the humans? She asked. No one answered. Because humans fight in ways they cannot predict. They do not surrender. They do not always attack head-on. They observe, they adapt, and when the time is right, they act in ways that are unimaginable. She pointed to the holoboard where faint star charts flickered to life. Lines of routes, symbols, and coordinates appeared. This, she said, is how they moved after the so-called destruction. Every fleet, every colony disappeared from standard records. The humans became shadows, yet every threat, every imbalance they corrected in secret. That is why some of your histories are wrong. Humanity never failed. They simply waited. The professor was silent for a long moment. Then slowly he asked, And how do you know this is not exaggeration? Stories grow in the telling. Carter smiled faintly. Professor, the galaxy grows too fast to record every truth. But small signs remain. A sudden disappearance of a pirate fleet. A mining station found empty but perfectly intact. A star system saved without a known fleet ever arriving. Legends in every culture speak of humans who appear from nowhere and vanish again. The Terran vanguard exists in those stories. That is all the proof you need if you know how to read it. She turned back to the students. History is not what is written. It is what survives. Humanity survives. And one day the galaxy will learn it again. Hours passed and the class was consumed by her story. Even the professor, who had taught the loss of Earth countless times, found himself unsettled. Something in Carter's voice and her certainty struck him. The humans were not dead, not gone. They had become something else entirely. As the lecture ended, Carter returned to her seat, calm as ever. The murmurs in the hall were loud now. Do you think it's true? One cadet asked. Whether it's true or not, another replied, I want to see it. I want to understand them. Professor Taravek stood frozen for a moment before clearing his throat. Cadets, the story may not be over. Perhaps in time we will learn the rest. Carter's eyes glimmered with quiet satisfaction. She had planted a seed of curiosity, doubt, and wonder. She had reminded the galaxy that humans did not give up. They observed, they endured, and they waited. That night, Carter stood on the academy balcony looking at the stars. Her mind traced the paths humans had taken after their so-called defeat. Fleets drifting in secret, colonies hidden behind uncharted nebulae, entire civilizations protected without anyone knowing. She felt the pulse of their vigilance, a quiet heartbeat that stretched across the galaxy. Somewhere far beyond the stars known to the Academy, the Terran vanguard watched. They were patient, clever, and unstoppable. The galaxy had forgotten them, but they had not forgotten the galaxy. A faint pulse of light blinked in a distant sector, a message in the old Terran code. We never lost. We were waiting. Carter smiled faintly. The story was far from over, and she was ready to learn every chapter. Word of her lecture spread across the academy quickly. Cadets and scholars alike whispered about the girl who claimed humans still existed. Some called her reckless, others called her insightful, but all agreed on one thing: Earth might not have fallen after all. In the quiet of space, in systems no one charted, humans continued their work. Hidden fleets trained, observed, and prepared. Their tactics evolved, their knowledge grew. One day, when the galaxy least expected it, they would remind everyone why humans had never truly lost. And when that day came, the universe would remember the name of Earth. The Terran vanguard had returned.